The May 6th, 2021 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. A roll call, please. Here.
Here. Here.
Any conflict of interest of the board?
No, sir.
No. Approval of the minutes of the meeting of May 8th, 2021.
April. Defer. April. You said.
Oh, I'm sorry, April 8th, 2021.
Okay. I make a motion to defer the approval of those minutes.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item A under correspondence. Correspondence received from Mr. Dean Button, President, Capital Improvement Board, requesting $7,300 of gaming funds be allocated for an agreement with Norfolk Southern Corporation and the city for flaggers and railroad protection for Sibley Street resurfacing.
Good morning to the board.
Morning.
So this is for our community crossings projects. We're resurfacing Sibley between Holman and Seoul. We applied for a railroad permit. It was not included in the original fee for the construction. This came after that. And so it's $7,300. It's a not to exceed amount. And it's for the permit fee with Norfolk Southern and to have flaggers on the site because we are approaching the railroad with the paving. So anything in closer than 25 feet from the rail needs a flagger. And that's, it's a not to exceed cost. They budgeted more than what they had planned.
When you say they budgeted more?
Norfolk Southern.
Okay.
Norfolk Southern is issuing the permit and they're providing the flaggers once we get the permit back and we get that organized.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve Mr. Button's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Good to go.
Yep. Item B, correspondence received from the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Northwest Indiana, 5840 Calumet Avenue, requesting the street be blocked from Calumet Avenue to Erie Avenue, westbound, and the alley behind the club going south to Eaton Street from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, May 15, 2021, for their Day of Kids. I mean, I looked at it yesterday. I don't see an issue with just from Calumet going to Eaton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they contacted us too, invited us and everything too,
Okay.
so, yeah. Okay, you're good then?
they're not asking for, let me see.
Yeah, barricades or something.
You know what, should we send it to you guys anyway?
Just to be safe, to.
Public Works.
Public Works, okay. Okay, I'm going to make a motion to approve the request from the Boys and Girls Club and also to forward it to Public Works in case they need any kind of equipment.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item C, correspondence received from Hammond High School requesting permission to use parking spaces in a City Hall lot on Saturday, May 15th, 2021, to allow alumni parking to view the school before it closes. It's pretty straightforward, Mr. Smith, right?
I agree, there's no objection.
Okay.
Okay, then I will make a motion to approve Hammond High's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item D, correspondence received requesting rental registration hearings.
What is it, the 28th? No, the 27th.
27.
Okay. I will make a motion to set those hearings for May 27th, 2021.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item E, correspondence received from Ms. Maria Martinez requesting a rental registration hearing held on April 29th, 2021 be reheard as she got lost on her way to the hearing. Is she here? No.
Is there an address for that?
930 Murray?
It's fine, we're gonna set it.
You want to set it for that same date we just set those other ones for? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion to reset Ms. Martinez's request to May 27th, 2021.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Matters from board members. Anything?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Matters from department heads or their representatives. Mr. Kearney.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I'm requesting that the board agree to waive the bond requirement for 936 Conkey. It's a property that's been in the demolition process for like 2-3 years now. Perlene Jenkins' property that's dear to the neighborhood. This will help the project get started and follow through. I'm confident they will finish the rehab.
What is the bond generally?
10,000.
Yeah, so the Board of Public Works and Safety, of course, has a standing resolution regarding the rehab agreements and the procedures, so any waiver request has to go through the board. Mr. Kearney, I know, has been in contact with Ms. Campbell, I believe is the woman's name. She may even be on Zoom. I don't know if she is or not. No, okay. And they have vetted this pretty carefully. It's rare that we request a waiver because I think it's always very important that we hold the contractor to the requirements, and that's why we have the bond, because if they don't perform, then we can use that to knock it down. However, in this case, I think Mr. Kearney's request is proper before the board, and it's a rare occasion we allow this, but in this instance, we think it's appropriate. And they're going to keep a very close eye, obviously, on the rehab.
They meaning?
Inspections, yeah, inspections and building will keep an eye on the rehab. And we do have you actually passed a rehab agreement last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago, and it had the regular language in there that the bond was required, because we always put that in. If there's a waiver, we want to bring that before you separately.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, then I will make a request to waive the bond requirement for 936 Conkey.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any further business from department heads or their representatives at all?
I just wanted to note that I think there might be several folks here, and you'll see this you won't see this because it's not on the agenda, but that got letters for rental registration hearings, but we're not on the agenda. So when you get down to the list on the next item or down the list, you may want to just ask, I guess it would be under item 8I, just if there's anybody else here for rental registration hearings, and we can deal with them as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, new business. Right-of-way permit submitted for approval by the engineering department. Good?
All good.
Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the right-of-way permits.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, disposal authorizations received from the Hammond Police Department. You going to deep six those?
I'll deep six them.
Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the disposal authorizations.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, shoot, where's item C? That's this, right? This is C, okay. Item C, plat of the Garcia and Gill addition to the city of Hammond, submitted for approval. Anything on this, Mr. Smith, at all? I'm guessing it's been through BZA or redevelopment.
It has, I believe, in the council too, so it's I'm sorry, it's a new plat, yeah, plan commission. Dean, anything on this? No, sir. Okay, yeah, we're fine.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the plat from Garcia and Gill addition.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item D, status, demolition of 4407 Baltimore Avenue.
I'm sure how this got into status, but we have no permits pulled, no inspections been done.
This was an email to Chris. Is he here? No. Oh, there he is. Something about NIPSCO won't retire this gas service until
Correct.
documents are out of the building.
I established contact with Adult Protective Services through the state agency hotline. They have begun their investigation. Initially, I attempted to reach out to Lake County's Division 1. I was unable to establish contact, but through the state hotline, I spoke with an individual, gave him accounting of the history of the property, which this is one I've been dealing with since I was hired in 2012 as a first district inspector. So property owner, the conditions of the property are 100% uninhabitable. It's been marked
2019.
in 2019. The owner has not had running water I believe since 2018, if not prior. So they are in the process of establishing contact and beginning their investigation to ensure they can, help assist the property owner be provided safe housing conditions. And
Are
then
people in the building?
the owner has occupied the building consistently, most time without leaving, which is the problem that we're running into. It's really bad condition. I believe you and Jaime were in there?
Me and Co-Commissioner Jaime Prieto were there in 2019. We had received a call from the police that the owner was shooting animals on his property, and when we got there, we got inside the property. There's a whole section of wall missing from the outside where the elements can come in on the one side. I'm surprised the property hasn't fallen in on itself, just based on those conditions.
So I guess what you're saying, Nick, is we need other governmental help to get this individual out?
Correct, yeah. In order to have him removed from the property, adult protectives to do a,
Okay.
they have to ensure that he doesn't have the mental capacity to care for himself. And living in those conditions, it would seem fitting, so.
So we need another status, I take it?
Yeah, we'll have to set it out, and then once I get an update from them on their investigation on, as far as them being able to relocate him to a facility to get the help that he needs, then we can move forward with the demolition. I know it's been awarded to JM since October 2019, but we have to make sure that have the resident relocated.
How far out?
If you give us 30 days to start, and then hopefully by then I'll have an answer from APS.
June 3rd or 10th? Would you rather have June 3rd or 10th? Or even later, do you need more?
Yeah, June 3rd should be fine. I'm sure they'll act quickly.
Good with June 3rd?
Yep.
Okay, then I'm going to
All
make
right.
a motion to set these 4407 Baltimore over for status to June 3rd, 2021.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. Item E, order to rescind and release order to demolish property located at 256 Highland Street.
Mr. President, happy to report that this has been rehabbed. We're happy to take the demolition order off the property. We'd request its approval.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, I will make a motion to rescind and release order to demolish the property located at 256 Highland.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item F, agreement to rehabilitate property located at 222 through 24 Conkey Street, and third and final extension to the agreement to rehabilitate property located at 27 Elizabeth Street.
Mr. President and Board, 222-24 Conkey, that was before the board, I believe, a couple months ago. It was a owner out of California, but a property manager locally. If you may recall, there was just a mess in the backyard, a lot of overgrowth and things like that. This is the agreement to rehab on that property. Also on 27 Elizabeth, that's been through the board since, believe it or not, 2015. It had a couple different owners. I believe that there has been some progress now with the new owner. This is the third and final extension. We believe it's going to hopefully be completed. I did see some recent pictures, and there is substantial work being done on it. So we just want to get to the finish line on this with this owner. And it is going to be a single family, I think, right, Kelly? Yeah, so it's a single family, which is great news because it was a cut-up originally.
So do we need to separate those two things?
You could, up to you, you could approve them both at once, but if you want the record to be clear, you can, either way.
We'll do one at a time, then. Yeah.
Okay, my first motion will be to approve the agreement to rehabilitate the property located at 222-24 Conkey Street.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then my second motion is to grant a final extension to rehabilitate the property located at 27 Elizabeth Street.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item G, billing received from Axis Architecture and Interiors for Hammond Fire Station Number 2.
Mr. President, you may recall that these are approved by the Board of Public Works and Safety and then forwarded to Port Authority for claims.
Okay.
So we're just approving the billing, basically? Okay. I will make a motion to approve the billing for Hammond Fire Station Number 2.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item H, business license hearing, waste management.
So, based on the research performed with this business location, the last time they had a license was in 2019. However, they did obtain licenses starting in 2004. They applied for 4 licenses per year for under a scavenger license for 4 different trucks. So it would seem for the 2 years, 2020 and then 2021, since these licenses were set to expire December 31st at the end of the year, and the charge for these licenses were $250 each, which would mean they would have a license fee of $1,000 per year for the 4 trucks. $200 late fee per license per year would amount to $800, so it'd be $1,800 per year for a total of $3,600 owed for 2020 and 2021. Ms. Andrea Edwards did come into my office yesterday with a substantially larger check amount issued from Waste Management, which was given to the controller's office. So I'm not sure if they added additional trucks these years, which would have accounted for the difference in the fees, but I don't know if. Did you guys have that, Andrew brought that check up for Waste Management?
No, I can pull up the history on it though.
So I do know we have a form payment in hand from the company. However, it wasn't adding up the numbers in which they owed.
But they've been doing service in Hammond for a while, right?
Oh, yeah, they've had licenses since 2004, and they've obtained 4 licenses per year.
So what are we missing?
We're missing.
2019?
No, the last licenses that they were issued were in 2019. So they missed 2020 and 2021.
Okay. And what was their reasoning for missing?
That I'm unaware of. I have not spoken to anybody in regards to the licenses. I saw it come up on the agenda, perform the research, and then yesterday is when Andrea brought to my attention we received a check through the mail.
Talk to them?
Well, they've already kind of admitted fault by giving the check, so
They submitted a check for payment to.
You just said you didn't know if it was for more trucks or
Right, yeah, it wasn't stipulated on the check itself. The check was for $9,000. However, they only owe us $3,600. So that's why.
Okay, well, maybe
I was looking for
the
some clarity.
controller can elaborate just a bit more.
Yeah, so the excuse for 2020 was that with COVID, they were out of the office, so they didn't see the reminder come through. So working remotely, it was just something that slipped off the radar. What was unclear to me and is still unclear because they've increased their number of trucks. And I don't know if that number increased in 2020 or if that was just increasing in this year. So that was the last question that I asked Karen, the business license manager in my office, to reach out to them and just get clarification on. So as far as 2020 is concerned, they've never been late before, so I would probably ask the board to just go ahead and waive those late fees for them. But we just need to figure out when the trucks came into function. Was it 2020 or 2021?
Understood. Okay.
If we could, if it's possible, potentially maybe set over for 2 weeks so that I can verify with the company.
Yeah, I think the board would like to know. I think we'd like to know now.
If they issued the check already, ensuring what's accounting for what, then that would help differentiate what needs to get applied to what license. So we can just do 2 weeks. I'll reach out to them before the week's over.
let's see.
But we're gonna take care of the license late fee issue today, or no?
Well, if a check's already issued, I'm not sure if that amount is intended to account for just the additional trucks, or if they intended to pay a portion of the late fee.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to try to determine
Weeks, okay.
their intent for the
Got it.
9,000.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go with the 20th, is that okay?
It's fine.
Is that okay with everybody? Yes. Okay, then I'm going to make a motion that we set this over for status to May 20th, 2021. That'll give you plenty of time to figure out.
I just want to make sure, sorry.
If it is an issue of overpayment, just so we don't have the back and forth, we can just issue a refund in the amount if it makes it easier on the company. So I guess whichever route we want to take, that's an option as well.
Sure.
Is that okay? Okay, so is May 20th okay then?
Yep, May 20th.
Okay.
All right.
Then that's my motion, then to set it over for that date.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, item I, so there's more. Rental registration hearings on property located at 2939 Orchard Drive, 2935 Orchard Drive, and 7205 Arkansas Avenue, plus apparently some more that are sitting here right now. Okay.
As for these three, they have the same owner. I believe she's here today, right? The property was registered last year on time, which is the point in time when she took possession of the property. So we're just here on 2020, which I do have the recommendations to waive the late fee due to COVID-related issues. And if Ms. Lazinga agrees to the stipulation of the board waiving the late fee for 2020, for those reasons, she can sign a date and I'll present them to the board for their approval.
So are these all single-family homes?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
You in agreement with what Mr. Farrell just mentioned to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
She's the property manager, Nick?
She's the property owner.
Owner?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The previous owner, he passed.
Okay. Then I will make a motion to approve the agreement with the city and the homeowner.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye. Okay. So,
Thank you so much, sir.
I would let you just call up the next one, Nick, because I don't have a clue whom it might be.
That's all that I was aware of that was set for today as far as rental registrations.
It seems like we got
There's,
a
three
handful
more,
of them
at
out
least.
here.
3 more, 4 more, looks like 5 more.
Orderly fashion, if you want to start, sir.
If you could give the address on it.
Yeah.
I'll announce the address. It's, this is sent to Lake County Trust number 5755, rental registration for 7009 California, 6410 Garfield, and 7105 Missouri. Sir, if you could just state your name and your relationship to the trust.
Okay, my name is Michael McMillan, and I'm the property manager for this property. I took over this here last year, the first of the year, and the previous person that had it, we didn't know, the owner didn't know that needed to get it registered until this year we found out what was going on. So I came down and got registered for this year, but then had to come for last year because it wasn't registered. And then, you know, with everything going on, we didn't know.
So I think the downside to it not being on the agenda is we don't have the history necessarily
Right.
of Mr. Farrell. And, you know, at the same time, obviously, we said it, so.
Well, I think as long as there's nothing too egregious, we can work with that, I think, so.
What are could you give me the properties again, sir, on your list there?
7009 California, 6410 Garfield, 7105 Missouri.
So you understand that they have to be registered every year now before April 15th?
Yes,
And you can actually come down and do it after January 1st.
right.
And you can, there's a form online. The forms need to be filled out for all these as well.
That's what I'm
And that's,
Every year.
right, that's what we found out this year. And came down in time to get it registered.
Are
and then
these,
found
are
out.
they all single-family homes?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
For
And just for 2020 or
It wasn't
2021?
registered for 2020. This year's registered.
Okay.
Okay, so we're just dealing with 2020. Okay.
Right.
All right.
You good then? Yep. Okay, I'm going to make a motion to waive the late fees for all 3 properties. And sir, at the end of the meeting today, you can register all 3 for 2020 at a cost of $5.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye. California, Garfield, and Missouri, okay.
Yeah, I got him, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Mr. Salvatore is here for rental registrations at 7813 White Oak, 7516 Jarnakey, 1814 Lake, and 6741 Madison. I had a conversation with a representative for Mr. Salvatore earlier in the week. It's my understanding that he's owned these properties for how many years, Greg?
About 15 years.
15 years, and it was just an oversight. In fact, he's registered them every year. I think it was just, I don't know if it was COVID or whatever, but you just didn't do it last year, correct?
Missed it last year.
I asked his representative to make sure he had the forms filled out for today. He has those. I see them here, and they're ready to go. Unless inspections has an objection, I would recommend a waiver of the late fee and allow him to register for, is it just 2020 that you're registering, or 2020 and 2020?
Just 2020. I already registered 2021.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I confirm the four addresses? 7813 White Oak,
Yep.
7516 Jarnakey, 1814 Lake, and 6741 Madison?
Correct.
Okay, and you're the homeowner or the property manager?
I'm the owner.
Okay.
And they're all single family good?
Single family, all of them.
Okay.
For 2021 unit. You good? Yep. Okay, I'm going to make a motion to waive the late fee for all four properties for 2020. Sir, same thing, you can register those at the end of today's meeting.
Perfect.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? Come on.
There we go, right here.
Letter there. Okay,
This one?
this is Mr. Ariola, I'm sorry. Mr. Ariola's here for 6420 Monroe, 2 units, and 844 Indiana, 2 units. You can, if you could just introduce yourself, let the board know your relationship to the properties, how long you've owned them, and the issue regarding the registration.
Good morning, board members. My name is Armando Ariola. I am the property owner of 6420 Monroe and 844 Indiana. I've owned these properties since 2004 and 2005 respectively. Very familiar with the registration process. Consider myself a responsible property owner. Last year, the registration was delayed due to COVID. This year, I made the presumption that it was delayed. I've always tied tax deadline with registration. So since the feds kicked the can another month, I just presumed that these were 2. I turned in my taxes, and I saw a little rental registration slip pop out, and I was like, son of a gun. And I came here immediately to register the properties for this year.
Have you registered for 2021 already?
No, that's for this.
Did you register for 2020 last year?
Yes.
Okay, so this is.
Oh, so this is 2021?
Yes.
Awesome, all right. And 2 units on both, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good? Yep. Okay, I'll make a motion to waive the late fees for both properties, 2 units each. Sir, same speech, you can register at the end of today's meeting, okay?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm also in the same boat, gentlemen.
You have your sheet there? All right. This is Mr. Little. He is here for 6427 Woodward Avenue
Yes, sir.
and 7235 McLaughlin.
Thank you.
Okay. How long have you owned the property? So you can...
The Woodward property I've owned since '78, lived in it, and then just last few years rented it in McLaughlin. I got off an uncle that passed. I've had that maybe 6 years now, and simply because somehow last year I overlooked it or missed it. And when I first was informed when I come to register for this year, they said, "Oh, you forgot to," and I said, "No, I didn't forget. I must have done it." But upon looking around, I can't find it, so obviously I did forget to do it. And but I have got registered after they allowed me to request a hearing in front of you folks. I was allowed to
So
register.
2021 is good, and we're looking at 2020. Both
Yes, sir.
single-family homes?
Yes, sir.
You good? Okay. Okay, I'll make a motion to waive the late fee for 6427 Woodward and 7235 McLaughlin. Sir, you can register at the end of today's meeting.
Okay. Like I say, I have registered for 21 already.
Very good.
I second.
Do I need to pay a fee for the register fee for the 2020?
Yes.
Okay.
$5 for each
Yeah,
unit.
just have a seat. We'll get some paperwork for you, and then after the meeting, we're almost done. And
Do I got a second? Yes. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
anybody else? Okay. One more.
Oh, yeah.
And 2 more, and 3 more. You don't have your sheet? Okay. Give the address, what you're here for, your name, and your relationship to the property, and how long you've owned it.
How you doing? Tim O'Neill. The property address, 6607 California. I've owned it since 2019. Had a sticker in 2019 and a sticker for 2021. I missed 2020. It was my first rental property. Just didn't know it was a yearly thing. Now I know.
This is a single-family home?
Single-family home, yes.
Can't do it, Kev.
Okay. Okay.
I want to, but I can't.
We're just having fun with you, Mr. O'Neill. As you know.
I was gonna give you the biggest fine we've ever
Yeah.
given, actually.
Sounds right.
Just for 2020, right?
Just for 2020.
That's even better though, Jeff. Thank you.
Did you bring your credit cards? Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to waive the late fee for 6607 California for 2020.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else? All right.
Even better. You got embarrassed.
That you're easier on firemen. You're tougher on firemen?
That's the address.
Whew, my eyes are bad. Go ahead.
It's 6320 Garfield Avenue.
And your name, sir?
My name's Adam Lulinski. I represent the owner, Charles Nendu. I'm with Real Property Management. He hired us earlier this year. I came to register the property. They told me it has not been registered for the past 2 years. He fired his former manager, who obviously...
When you say the last 2 years, were we talking 2019 or 2020, 2021?
19 and 20.
19 and 20.
I've already registered it this year. His prior property manager was out of Chicago, and apparently they didn't know the rules.
Is this,
Where are you out of, sir?
Crown Point,
And do you have any other houses that you manage in Hammond?
about 100.
Okay.
okay.
And for this gentleman, is this the first one?
He just hired us, so, I mean,
Single-family home, right?
yeah, we register ours, either within 30 days or obviously every winter.
So you would know, it'd just be speculation as to what happened in 19 and 20, right?
The owner didn't know that there was such a thing, and the other management company obviously didn't check into it.
All right, okay.
Okay. I will make a motion to waive the late fee for 2019 and 2020 for 6320 Garfield.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'll take care of business after the meeting, sir. Thank you. Anyone else?
Just one more. All right, you got your letter? Thank you, sir.
Hey, did we get
All right, this is Mr. Hogan. He's here for 2313 169th Street, 2315 169th Street, and for the latter, 2315, it looks like it has not been registered for 18, 19, or 20. Mr. Hogan appears to be a resident of Hammond, so, Mr. Hogan.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm here today because I had a call from the city Board of Works or whatever, the code enforcement, about a rental property. And it surprised me that they would call me instead of the property manager. So I came down to find out if the properties were registered and found out that they had not been for 2018, 19, or 20. And my assumption was that that would have been taken care of by the property manager. So.
Do you still currently have that property manager?
I sadly have not parted ways. There's a few things that need to be worked out, and I'm waiting until the leases expire for the tenant, and at that time I'll take back and actively manage the
Did they offer up any explanation to you as to how they forgot?
No, they just said that it was done, that so-and-so had done it. They gave a name and said that it had been done. And according to this, it hasn't been.
Is it on both? So the way the letter is written, it almost looks like it's just for the one, but is it for both?
Yeah, it would be both. The one,
so-
it's one unit, it's a duplex.
Okay.
Gotcha. So there's two 2 units there, or one, I'm sorry?
2 units, one in 2313 and 15 in one building.
Gotcha. So it's 2 units with different addresses for 3, have you registered for 2021 yet?
I did.
Okay,
I
so
came
for
in.
3 years, 2 units.
That's how I found out I was behind these 3 years.
But when I say 2 units, they're separate addresses, but it's.
Yes, yeah. Okay, I'm going to make a motion to waive the late fees for all 3 years, sir, but obviously, even if you have a
I'll take
property
over.
manager, it's your responsibility going forward, though, okay?
I wouldn't have known it if.
I gotcha, I
yeah.
gotcha. That's my motion to waive the late fees for both units.
Thank you very much.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any further landlord's rental registration out there? You just sit tight once we complete the meeting. Nick, the paperwork, we don't have it. How are we gonna do that? Just send them down to? Oh, that's right, the copy, she's gonna, the copy, okay. Okay,
Okay.
all right. Okay, let's see, all right, let's move on to J. Garage sale permit submitted for approval. Deep six them as well.
They can get 2 dates, right? That's right. They can
Yeah.
get 2.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know how we're gonna do these rental registrations. We don't have no paperwork.
No, I guess they're just gonna handle them. We'll have to sign them later, maybe, or something. Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to approve the garage sale permits.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Nick, if I can go back, I mean, we don't have any paperwork for these folks that weren't on the agenda for their rental registrations, so they may have to come back, right, Mr. Smith?
Yeah,
Right?
so maybe I'll ask Lynn here. There's going to need some time for the paperwork to get generated. Do you want them to come back maybe this afternoon if they can, or tomorrow to grab the paperwork? What's?
I can work on it directly after the meeting. I can fill them out for each property.
Okay.
Each property address written down and decision, so I can fill it out and take it to the law department and finish after the meeting.
All right, so he'll deliver it up to the law department. If everybody's able to maybe do it by tomorrow or Monday, I think we're good with that. Is that
I think
fair?
that's fair.
Is everybody okay with that? Just, you'll have to make another trip down. The law department's on the 3rd floor. Lynn will be there tomorrow, and she should have the paperwork for you. You can grab it then or Monday, and then just go right downstairs and register. Everybody good with that? Everybody is shaking their head yes.
Okay, for the record, okay. Okay, moving right along to old business, there is none. Meeting's open to the public. Anyone here care to speak to us about anything on your mind? No. Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Thank you.